Hi everyone, it's Stacy from PeonyLaneDesigns.com. Have you subscribed to the channel? I know what I'm doing. Hang on. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, click the little blue button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, comment down below, like this video, and click the bell icon to be notified. I apologize. It's very early. It's very early. I need to get some work done today, though. I need to get this no longer drop leaf table done. Day 2. So today we are going to touch up do coat 2 basically. I mean, let's face it, you deserve coat 2. Oh, so pretty. And it looks like I missed a spot there. When I was editing the video, I noticed that I missed that. And it triggered me, but I wasn't going back in until we were ready to do it today. But yeah, it's looking cute. It's cute. So I'm going to get the base painted, and then I'm going to give the top a final sanding, and hopefully we don't bust through the veneer. Seal that and get a price tag on it, get it back in the shop. So it was $18 when nobody wanted it. Definitely going to be more than $18 now, and somebody will probably buy it because that's what happens. A lot of times I think I'll put a low price on it, it'll become their project. Not once have I ever sold a project piece out of my booths. So this one I really did a messy job on. Messy. So the base is going to be my primary focus right now. I'm going to get the bottom painted, get another coat on, make sure it's not sloppy and messy. And I think I was in a hurry yesterday. It is what it is. We're going to get it done today. And then we'll get a price tag. It's going to be cute. I didn't like this table. That's why it was in my inventory for so long, because you need small tables to layer up on things, and you need small tables. It's just people, they want them. But I didn't like it. I didn't like the drops. And now that I've taken the drops off, I like it. Just seeing it with fresh eyes, I think. So the fresh coat of paint, removing the drop leaves, made it a fresh piece. I think what I'll do is possibly with the drop leaves, cut the edge off that would fold down and then put them together and make them a tabletop for another piece, because there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly fine. So I can edge glue them or dowel them together. I've got a dowel jig kit. I've used it, but not on a table edge, and I kind of want to do a dowel tabletop. I've never done one. It'll be a new thing for all of us. Anyway, okay, let's get you guys adjusted so you can see what I'm working on here. Obviously, it's so much fun to watch me paint. What's going on there then? Nothing. So I did not at all paint the underneath of these last time, and it's a good idea because it is seen. I mean, people will see this. I was so annoyed by the whole I have to now take it apart process that I just kind of half-ate this. Don't want to get demonetized and start cussing now. I am not painting the part that would make contact with the floor just because I'm probably going to put felt pads on it. It became a habit after I worked at a shop where she required it on the bottom of feet so that it wouldn't scratch other surfaces. And then it just became like that's not a bad idea. It helps balance a piece that might be slightly uneven, or if a floor is slightly uneven, and then it protects any surfaces that you might like layer up. And we are big on layering. This can is not going to be in the right place for you guys, is it? So I got the bottom painted, but I'm not painting those feet. We're going to get a second coat up on these legs. No idea how I'm going to set this down once I do this. Oh, I suppose I didn't paint the feet. Again, it's really early. I swear sometimes. I know I don't drink. I don't drink. Miss Margot was up at 2 a.m. today. 4 a.m., 2 a.m. She got an issue, that dog. There's something so satisfying about painting a leg like this. It's like, whoosh. And I am just using my art brush today. I don't know why. Sometimes I do it, and I know it's going to take longer to just use this tiny brush, but it feels so good in my hand, you know? You just do what feels right for you in the moment. Don't judge it, just do it. If you go, I want to hold my art brush, then you do it. All right, I did the base, so we're on to the tabletop bottom. Tabletop bottom. And I'm going to have to get something to lift this up because I'm painting this whole little centerpiece, but this looks good. So I'm not going to do the whole bottom. And that way I can lift this up. But I got to find something to lift it up on. I have paint square, or they're not squares. They're these things. The triangle things. I know what a triangle is. It's one of those mornings where you're like, 2 o'clock, dog's barking, you didn't get that good of sleep, and then you couldn't go back to sleep, and now words aren't coming. It's just me. Let me see if I can look at my triangles and get this thing set up. I can't find them because I remember putting them away. Remember when I was cleaning up and I put stuff away? Yeah, and I can never find anything. So those of you are like, why is your shop such a hot mess? Because when I put stuff away, I can't find it. And I put them away. I put them in something. That's the big mistake. when you have ADHD and you can't see things. So like if you see a space, I've got 2 cans of paint though that are the same size, so we're gonna do that. If you see somebody who has a space that is visually cluttered, it's probably because they're ADHD and they need to see things or they forget they exist. And I'm just sharing that with you as somebody who learned that about herself recently. So I got diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. And I had to learn that the reason I put things away and can't find it is because I forget they exist. Like literally my brain goes, well, it's gone now. I need to figure out a better system where I need a shop, because then I would have the space to visually display. Like I have my board back here, which helps a lot, but I can't put everything on that board. The more stuff I put on that board, we're in danger of losing that and pulling the wall down. So I would like to have a space that's large enough where I can have all the walls display things, because when it is displayed, I can find stuff. It's like, oh, it's over there, it's over there, it's over there, it's over there. I know where it's supposed to be. And if I put it back in those places, then I remember where it is. I got a piece of paint here somehow. I got a piece of paint over here somehow. And this is the mistake that I made over here. So that's why I'm going to give it a final sanding when I'm done, but I'm going to trim this off again. I've got my brush here, which you'll see come into frame in a minute, and I've got a bunch of paint on it. And then what I do is I get a bubble of paint, and you just push it up to the edge and then start pulling. And that paint flow will creep along the edge without going over the edge. And now it's time to let it dry. And then we're going to sand the top, clear coat it. Done. Goes to the shop. Yay. Let's get the sanding. That took no time at all. All the gray that I kind of got up on the edges is gone. Let's get the dust cleaned off, and then I'm going to put tung oil over the top to seal this wood, and we're done. I'm so excited. This thing's going to be out of my garage. And just have a damp cloth. Definitely want to get it off these edge pieces that was painted. The paint is not cured, but it is dry to the touch, so don't yank on it and hit it real hard. All right, let's let that dampness dry. And we'll get the tung oil on it. Dry, because I'm really excited. Okay, I've got tung oil. So tung oil is what's called a penetrating oil or a drying oil. It's made from a seed or a nut. I can't remember if it's a seed or a nut. Anyway, it's like a natural resin, and I love the finish that it gives. I think some people just consider it like a varnish, but it's just really pretty. It's sort of amber colored. You can see it's sort of amber colored, which will give this, so it's very white right now. I'm going to just jump it on. This is how I do it. Make sure you wear gloves. You can see it kind of gives it just a little bit of an amber color, which there are varnishes that are like that too, very yellowing. But I feel like this gives it more of a natural wood color instead of like very yellow. So pretty. I love this finish. Always wear a glove because it is very sticky. Very sticky. So it looks oily, but it will dry. You won't feel oil. It's got that butcher block oiled look without being greasy. Does that make sense? But look how pretty that is. It just really brings out the richness in the wood. You can see the beautiful grain. Yes, I love what I do. Oh, so pretty. Once this dries, we're all done. Get a price tag on her and get her in the shop. Nice. Okay, guys, the table is done. Let me show you some pictures. I took it outside to dry, so I got some pictures of it drying out there, but I'm really excited how it turned out. I'm so happy. It's going to the shop immediately, like right away. That's what immediately means, Stacy. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just happy to have it out of my project pile and out of my garage and going into the shop again, because I knew if I had just put it in the garage the way it was, or put it in the shop the way it wasn't going anywhere. No one was going to even look twice at it. So I'm happy. I'm extremely happy. Another one down. Check. Thanks for watching, you guys. Happy junkin'. Bye. Visit my blog, peonylanedesigns.com, for more tips, tricks, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos. I post every week DIY tutorials and, of course, more junkin' videos.